Brianna Scott is, her mother is Christy Winter Scott, a Hall of Famer at Maryland. Yeah, she should be in attendance here today, and she also coached at Georgetown in 2004 to 2005. So we are getting set for the tip right now. And that one, ball settled now. Ozzy-Momodu wins the tip. Saylor Poffenbarger brings it across half court. Here's Lea Bartelme. Here's Bartelme taking on Chet Nowiek.
Yeah, Nowecki, a local girl, transfer from Princeton, hurt herself last year in her first game, and Georgetown's got to have her back.
Here's Rivera playing defense. Garzon tries the elbow jumper, not going to go. Rebounded by Ozzy-Momodu. Called for a travel. And Chet Nowiek crosses half court with it. Going to dump this one off to Hession. Hession working with Rivera. Rivera was a honorable mention for preseason All-Big East. Here's Nowiek again with it. Nowiek going to find Rivera and set a pin screen there. Rivera trapped. Help from Boiko on Maryland. Here's a pull-up from Miller. Turned away. Maryland has it. Garzon in transition. Garzon going to try the pull-up three. Garzon's got it for Maryland's first points of the night. There's a big three. Here's transition. Rivera going to try and respond. Just off front rim. Rebounded here. Garzon's got it. Crosses half court here. Garzon transitioning. Finds Bartelme across court. Bartelme looking for a screen. She's going to get it from Boiko. Boiko rolls. Finds Boiko. Marya Boiko fouled baseline. As here's Bartelme off baseline. Throws it off the back of the Georgetown player and lays it in. Back to Brianna Scott. Brianna Scott working baseline on Poffenbarger. Running out of line. Turned over. Here's Garzon in transition. She gets fouled at midcourt. So Maryland, quick 5-0 run. Bartelme inbounding baseline. Going to find Okananwa. Okananwa working a crossover to get to the baseline. Finds Bartelme. Garzon up top. Looking for one more. We'll find Boiko. Boiko for a three. Off the front rim. A rebound from Bartelme in Maryland. Finds Boiko in the post. Off the glass. Got the lay-in. As that'll be a quick timeout from Darnell Haney and the Georgetown crew.
When I talked to Coach Haney pregame, he talked about her as a player to watch for this Maryland team.
Here's Miller. Working down to Brianna Scott. Scott going to try a little mid-range. That one off the rim. A rebound here. There's Miller tried off there. He's going to miss. There's Poffenbarger in transition. Finds Mack. Mack with the lefty lay-in. She's got it. Maryland at 9. There's Brianna Scott. Got to find Byers. Byers gets the first one. A mid-range jumper. Puts Georgetown on the board. Wilson able to contain that mishap. Here's Boiko and Mack. Mack going to try a little layup. Mack gets inside, gets fouled. That one off the front rim. 100% from the line. 4 for 4 so far this season. The first to double digits in tonight's matchup. It's Kaya Miller up top. Going to find Brianna Scott, who's going to try and kick it out there to Summer Davis. Davis going to drive baseline. Brianna Scott tied up with Saylor Poffenbarger. That'll be called a jump ball. Things are getting chippy. Good step there from Poffenbarger, able to interrupt the pass there, and she does it again. This one is going to be a turnover offensively for Georgetown. How about Saylor Poffenbarger? Here's Mack. Mack a little nifty dribbling. The screen from Boiko. Mack going to pull up from the line. She's got it. Addi Mack. Here's a trap here from Addi Mack and Poffenbarger. Gets them put out of place. Kaya Miller going to go up for a layup. Fouled there. So far has the most field goal attempts on this squad. Stays true there and
got to find some offense some way.
Miller trying to call out a play here. Directing traffic is Bartelme. Bartelme going to drive in. Kicks out the Garzon into Mack in the corner. Mack off the rim twice. Bartelme with the putback. Off the back rim. Rebounded here from Georgetown. Mack trying to tie her up real quick. Here in transition, it's Summer Davis. Excuse me, that's Byers. Now Summer Davis. And Kristen Carter checking in, seeing her first minutes of the night. Carter looking to find a pass. Finds Kaya Miller inside. A lay-in for the Hoyas.
That's a great find right there. Great find by Carter. Great finish by Miller.
And I think the Hoyas just beginning to settle down and actually able to get the press there. Strong press there from the Hoyas will lead to a foul on Addi Mack. Not a very turnover-heavy player for this Maryland squad. Gets strong rotational minutes as the first free throw.
Credit to Georgetown. They've done a good job weathering the storm.
Jewett gets the roll off the rim there, and she's 2 for 2 from the line. Georgetown within 5. Okananwa and Maryland trying to break this Georgetown press. Turned over again. Bartelme goes to Kaya Miller. Kaya Miller's going to go up. No foul called there. That's right, Dash. 5 fouls for each team, almost in the bonus. Okananwa's first free throw of the day is off the front rim. Both played in Xfinity. Georgetown trying to break the press now. It's Summer Davis. Davis crosses half court. Tight defense from Okananwa. Hands everywhere. She's moving frantically, but strong defensive effort there. Kick out here. Layla Jewett off the back iron. A rebound. 1 for 4 at the free throw line in her last outing versus Stonehill.
Up the offense move.
That's exactly right, Dash. She had 6 rebounds in that last match versus Stonehill. Very strong for her Hoyas squad as she'll get the second free throw there. Okananwa in transition, looking for heads. Okananwa gets it across half court, finds Bartelme, who's going to find Rainey Wilson with a little pump fake. Wilson going to sidestep and get through the lane. Lays it up there.
You really got to like this Terps freshman class.
Absolutely, as Rainey Wilson. Here's a free throw from Jewett.
The time when the referees maybe aren't looking as favorably on it.
Jewett, 2 for 2. Kristen Carter and Rainey Wilson scrambling on the floor for that one. Wilson and Maryland will come up with it. As here's Kendall Walker and Oluchi Okananwa trying to break the press. Okananwa's going to go straight through, and instead of dribbling first, she puts her foot down. That'll be a travel. There's Cotty Hession. Kristen Carter goes to the floor. There's Byers. Finding a cut there from Miller. Rebounded here. Agubata. Kicked out up top. It's Hession. That one's off the front iron, but there's a foul on the floor. Here's Carter from the line. The first one. Carter's second attempt. Rattles home. There's Bartelme and Mack looking to break the press together. Mack gets across half court. 3 seconds left to go. Bartelme going to try and skip through the lane and throws up a shot. Bartelme off the back iron. That one's going to miss. Looking for a foul, but Maryland up 3. Kaya Miller gets it inside. This one will go off to Katie Hession. Cotty Hession. As Kristen Carter. Here, gets it inside here. Georgetown goes up. It's Chet Nowecki. Poffenbarger going to find Bartelme. A wide open 3 up top. Bartelme said, I'm going to shoot it. Just off the rim there. Rebounded from Garzon. Back out Maryland. Bartelme. Garzon. A screen there. Pin screen for Poffenbarger. Poffenbarger has it. Finds Marya Boiko. In the paint is Ozzy-Momodu, and she's called for the foul.
So for the Terps now, they were shooting close to 50% in the first quarter, down to 33 now.
There's Brianna Scott. Able to cross half court now. Hession's going to pull up for 3. Hession's got it. She looks at the 3, decides not to take it. Bartelme finds the screen. Looking for hands. Finds Boiko. Boiko going to work inside. Find Ozzy-Momodu for the lay-in. Maryland ties things up. Boiko and Bartelme try a little trap on Hession. Hession kicks out. Victoria Rivera stepped out of bounds. Yes, the energy is brought in this DMV matchup that we've been waiting for 14 years. There's Bartelme. Finds Poffenbarger. Poffenbarger scanning the floor. Finds Wilson in the corner. Wilson throws up a 3. Not going to get it. Rebound. Ozzy-Momodu goes back up and get it. Momodu claims the lead back for Maryland as the energy in Xfinity is vibrant. Here's Hession. Going to find Scott inside. Seems like, Dash, a lot of these fouls have been at mid-court, too, when both teams are trying to break the press, so it doesn't really go for a shooting foul.
Yeah.
Here's Miller. Miller trying to go 2 for 2 from the line. She'll switch that one. Okananwa looking to settle things down. Bartelme up top, calling out a play. Bartelme surveilling. She's going to drive in. Bartelme goes up with the left, gets fouled. She'll go to the line. Like Brianna Scott will go to the bench as the first free throw for the Terps is made. And that second free throw from Bartelme, she's wondering how that one just rolled out. But in transition is Hession and the Hoyas. Hession, little pull-up jumper off the front rim. Rebounded here Attempted from Carter.
Yeah, just right now it feels like both teams know this isn't a tight one. Just so much contested action on every play.
Here's Okananwa. Okananwa going to drive in. Little Euro step, goes up, get it, and one! And she gets a standing ovation. Some in the crowd from that one.
Yeah, and great moves by Okananwa as well. Getting to the hoop, drawing the foul, that's a great play by her. And she's been quiet tonight. That's just her second and third points of the evening. They need her to get going, and what a great play by her right there. Just about the best thing I feel like you can say about an opposing player as the and one will go in. He said she has the best motor of any player he's ever seen, which is incredible to me.
Here's Jewett looking to scan. Finds Hession back for a three. Hession got it, and the response is Georgetown down by 1. Bartelme looking to fake out. Maryland trying to get it across half court. They will. Bartelme, Okananwa finds Ozzy-Momodu inside for another lay-in. She camps at that spot and always seems to finish it off. Here's a look inside for Kristen Carter.
I mean, she has been such a good anchor for the Terps in the paint, which is something that really they missed. Even when they've had so much success in the last couple of years, they've never quite had a player like that.
We were just talking about her. Kicks out. Bartelme up top. Little pump fake. Out to Saylor Poffenbarger in the corner. Poffenbarger sets and fires. That one going to be a foul on the floor. Going to go Georgetown's way. Kaya Miller will go to the line for the Hoyas once more. Gosh, now 50% of the Hoyas' points came from the line so far this game.
Yeah, they've done a good job getting to the line and then taking their chances.
Breeze in her 23rd season. Bartelme tries to guide Boiko from the paint. Ozzy-Momodu looks inside for Boiko. Boiko able to keep her hands ready, and she'll get fouled.
I don't know if it's confidence, power, what it is for her.
Boiko, the high-arcing shooter, won't get the first one. Clear frustrations there. It's Brianna Scott, and now Hession. Scott trying to cut. Jewett uses the screen from Miller. There's Hession up top. Hession back out to Jewett. Going to try and pull up for three. Got it! Jewett giving Georgetown the lead. Transition from Bartelme. Bartelme, a little nifty dribble work. Beautiful kick out to Wilson. Back out to Poffenbarger. Wilson in the corner. And the referee is going to say Wilson stepped on the line.
Yeah, it's also worth noting, it feels like Maryland really missing Kayleen Smichael in her scoring tonight.
He's absent since the start of the season. Smichael battling an injury, a leg injury. As that one will go inside there. Looks like Kaya Miller trying to get the N1 just off. Here's Hession, going to get to the first one.
Yeah, and Hession's also done a great job tonight, both she and Miller.
Bartelme trying to direct traffic. It's a screen from Ozzy-Momodu. Looking to get it on her left. Going to kick out to Boiko, and just a turnover from Bartelme. Frustrations for Maryland. And so now here's Hession crossing half court after just nodding those 2 free throws. Poffenbarger playing tight defense on Kaya Miller. Poffenbarger moving her feet. Poffenbarger jumps on that last one. Beautiful bucket from Kaya Miller. Gives Georgetown a 5-point lead. Poffenbarger, that one, able to keep in bounds. Ozzy-Momodu finds Boiko inside. Boiko going to go up. She'll go back to the line after that foul. Double-digit lead for the Hoyas to start, but able to fight back. Marya Boiko, 2 for 2 at the line. Georgetown still leading with just under a minute to go in the first half of this one. It's Brianna Scott. Scott surveilling. Fouled up top from Boiko, and she knows it. Scott will see some of her first minutes at the line tonight. Here's Scott. Swishes the third. Maryland able to run one last set before the half is up. Ava McKinney, Rainey Wilson. Wilson uses the screen from McKinney. Finds Poffenbarger, sets a screen of her own. Gets out of the way. Poffenbarger has a little ISO action. And Ozzy-Momodu is going to be called on a foul there.
Yeah. Ozzy-Momodu wasn't happy, but I think on the replay, right call there.
Hession up top. Hits it again. Georgetown with a 7-point lead. Here's Walker, uses the screen from Williams. Kendall Walker going to try and skip through the lane, and that one off the rim. She'll go to the line. Here's Walker from the stripe. Got it. Walker collects the second. 2.5 left for the Hoyas. Looking to find hands. Will find the hands of Hessian. Hessian will get it and pull up from half court. This one will come to a wrap in College Park as the Hoyas are up 5. So we're getting the second half under swing here, and I think what you said about tournament energy is spot on. We've seen bodies diving across the floor, fouls and 50-50 balls being fought for. So let's see if that bodes true in the second half. As Bartelme gets the inbound for Maryland.
Yeah.
Screen from Ozzy-Momodu. Bartelme out to Poffenbarger. Not going to shoot this one, but find Ozzy-Momodu inside, who's blocked. Blocked there from Kristen Carter as Hessian and the Hoyas are moving forward.
Great defense by Carter. I feel like Hessian's grown into this game nicely now and just moving confidently.
There's Brianna Scott. And Carter. Ozzy-Momodu hands ready there. Here's Victoria Rivera, leading scorer last game. Finds her first net of the second half. Here's Bartelme. Finds Okananwa. Okananwa looking to drive baseline. Gets a screen from Ozzy-Momodu. Okananwa drives in. Little pump fake. Gonna throw this one up. Beautiful spin across the lane as Okananwa gets the deuce. So this will be Georgetown's inbound as Carter able to juggle that ball. Finds Scott. Who finds Victoria Rivera. Back to Carter, who got the last bucket for this squad, and she'll go right back to it on the block. Rivera brings this team to 40 as Okananwa chases down that rock, able to keep it alive. Poffenbarger up top for a 3. Off the front rim. Maryland's shooting struggles from outside continue.
Yeah, they got to get Poffenbarger and Garzon going. Two of their best shooters. Coach Haney told me there were two players who stood out to him as shooters, and neither one has gotten anything going for the Terps tonight.
Poffenbarger up top. Okananwa. Ozzy-Momodu playing tight on Kristen Carter. Carter able to get the ball away. Finds Kaya Miller, who's got an ISO. 5 seconds on the clock. Kaya Miller skips through the lane and gets it, and one! Miller madness as Maryland trails.
Great holes. Great attack right there by Miller, who is so good in the first half. Just drawing the contact and finishing. I mean, Georgetown right now are just balling out, literally.
How about that? Georgetown Hoyas almost up by double digits on the Terps. Miller can make that statement true after this free throw. And that one's short, but rebounded here from Georgetown. Looks like Victoria Rivera able to get it. Secures the board. Finds Kaya Miller just at the line and now settles it down with Hessian, who finds Kristen Carter on the block. Great defense there from Poffenbarger. Going to stay Georgetown's possession.
For Maryland now, they got to get something going offensively.
Here's Victoria Rivera. Gets the inbound, but it's turned over. Marya Boiko going to take this layup up, and she's got it. Boiko.
So they needed great play by Boiko.
Tight defense from Okananwa. Coach Haney said she's got a high motor, and the way she plays defense, so eccentric. She's got so much energy. As Brianna Scott will try backing down Poffenbarger and throw it up with the left. It's a lefty hook, good for Scott. Here's Bartelme finds a cutting Poffenbarger, turned over there. Kristen Carter and Bartelme tied up there as Poffenbarger, and this one will go in Georgetown's favor. Here's Victoria Rivera. Over to Brianna Scott. Here's Carter trying to find a cutter. Here's Poffenbarger in transition with Okananwa. Poffenbarger going to get the bump, take it up, and almost an and one.
You've also got Poffenbarger and Garzon, who are having really cold nights. It makes it a lot harder for you.
Poffenbarger swishes the first. And can't make the second, but Okananwa with the rebound. Throws it up. Okananwa trying to get a second. This one will go out of bounds and stay Maryland's possession. Fights for every single one of them as Garzon kicks it out to Poffenbarger. Poffenbarger battling baseline. Poffenbarger finds a cutting. Boiko, and she's got it. Saylor Poffenbarger with the goggles on that last one. Here's Chet Nowecki, and a shot outside from Hessian. Hits a 3 there. Maryland looking to not be stifled offensively, trying to build something in the second half. Haven't really had a great go at anything, as a little fadeaway there from Garzon on the baseline. Trying to get that energy going for this Maryland squad, playing up top defense. Here's Nowecki. Nowecki with a little roll on the inside post, and got it! No foul called there, but a physical play there. As here's Garzon. She's got it. Poffenbarger on the wing. Poffenbarger going to find a cutting Garzon. She's going to get fouled as she goes. Garzon sent to the line. Garzon has the first from the line. Garzon switches the second. Here's Hessian. Now Summer Davis. Davis trying to set up the play. Haney's going to call a timeout. Did not like what he saw there. It took a little too long for them to get their set.
Yeah, Connie Hessian has been incredible. For context, she is 4 for 5 from 3. Everyone else in this game, a combined 2 for 23. She's been a difference maker.
Shooting 80% from outside as coming back. I think we jinxed her. She just got a backcourt violation as she loses the handle. This one will go Maryland. There's Bartelme. Crossing the front court. And now Garzon tries to find Okananwa. Okananwa going to find Bartelme. Poffenbarger drives in. Poffenbarger with a dish to Boiko. Back out Bartelme. Puts it in. Bartelme to cut the lead. Big three there. There's Miller in the corner. Hessian. First three missed in a while for Hessian. Absolutely. Bartelme inside. Going to find Garzon a little mid-range. Garzon off the mark. Boiko tries to tip it to Poffenbarger. Loss of communication there as transitioning are the Hoyas. Outside, Summer Davis sinks that three. Boiko got it up top. Find Okananwa. He's trying to get hot. He finds a cutting Garzon. Garzon going to try and drive in and throw up something, but not fouled there. This one, Georgetown in transition. It's Layla Jewett. Jewett kicks out to Miller in the corner. Miller makes it again. Georgetown is red hot. And for the first time, they have a double-digit lead in this one.
That's incredible. Maryland overall is still just shooting 35%, and it feels like the Terps are struggling to generate clear cut.
Here's Garzon up top. Here's Poffenbarger working on the wing. Poffenbarger, little drive in, little nod. Going to try it off the glass there. That one rebounded from Scott. And here's Scott again. Brianna Scott going to drive in on Boiko. Give a little body there. And that one. Don't believe it's going to be called a foul. Looks like immediately to the line is Poffenbarger for Maryland.
Yeah, and that looked really painful for Scott. She's getting checked out right now.
And rather than talking about the Maryland three-point struggles, let's talk about how good Georgetown has been from outside for the Hoyas as they are trying to set the tone tonight and put out a statement versus the Terps. Here is Brittany Byers. There's a kick out to Jewett. Jewett going to try to find a rolling Carter. Not going to find her. Trapped there is Jewett. Up top is Kaya Miller. Miller surveilling. Miller pulls up at the free throw line. Swish! Miller's got it there again to cut the lead. Put the lead at 10. Here's Bartelme trying to move swiftly. Bartelme off the mark there. Ozzy-Momodu tries to put that in. Maryland can't seem to make the layup. Kicked out here. Poffenbarger has it. Back up to Momodu. Throws up a layup. Not going to go, but she'll go to the line. Just so comfortable tonight are some of these Hoyas playing on this hardwood.
Yeah.
They've had no trouble. Sky Miller now at 17 points. She has been so strong. Miller has coming in to XFINITY. And misses the second rebound here from Georgetown in transition. Kaya Miller. Familiar face, Layla Jewett, transferred this year from Central Florida. Jewett cuts, gives it off to Rivera. Now Carter has it. Ozzy-Momodu's hands ready, them top. And that one's going to be a travel there from Summer Davis. Here's Bartelme, likely going to dribble this one all the way out, give Maryland the last bucket. Bartelme surveilling, just looking at the clock above the scoreboard. Bartelme going to drive in. Hits that one, gets the and one! Bartelme bringing the heat to cap off the third. Chance at a three-point play here. Bartelme brings it full circle as Maryland, 7 seconds left in this third quarter. Georgetown looking across the half court. They will from Rivera. She shoots it early, but she gets rid of it. That one going to cap it off for the third here at XFINITY Center. Maryland able to cut Georgetown's lead to 6 points as the Terps are trying to fight back. Here's Walker in on taking up this one. Just off the rim there, got the inbound from Mack, took it straight to the racks. And this one a jump ball. Maryland with 15 turnovers. They have 22 points off of turnovers. Guy Miller inbounded to Hession. Guarded tightly from Bartelme. Here's a screen. Hession going to take it in. This one off the side of the backboard. In transition is Bartelme and Mack. Mack looks like she's going to take it up with the left. Mack able to deliver for Maryland as they try and come back into this game. As here is Miller kicking it to Nowecki. Nowecki going to drive in across the paint, but that's going to be called. Looks like a travel. She's going to dribble this one out and just kind of let her team set up. Addi Mack wide open in the corner. Mack tries to make it rain. Mack, this ball is scrambling. Bartelme misses the easy lay. Mack follows up. Good work from Maryland. The teamwork there. Bartelme misses the first two she knew she should have made, but Maryland's Mack is there. And now Maryland down by 2. Nowecki finds Miller in the corner. Miller off on this three. Addi Mack in transition. Mack gonna dribble this one. Mack gonna take it coast to coast. Mack and one. Maryland Madness here at XFINITY as Mack ties the game at 57.
Mack is a baller, though. We've seen her have some great moments today. She's gonna be a special player.
There's Brianna Scott. Glad to see she was able to come back in the game after suffering seems to be a minor injury. She's playing through it. Scott going to try a triple from up top. Scott fouled at the 3. She'll go to the line for 3. Struggle so far, 1 for 2 at the line tonight. Scott not able to convert on the first. Here's Scott on the second attempt. Able to settle that one in the hoop. She will. Hoyas have the lead once more. As Okananwa gets it across half court. Bartelme looks like she's trying to go all gas. Addi Mack. Mack with a crossover. Mack skips through the lane. Mack throws it up just off the rim. Rebounding here from Garzon gives Maryland the lead again. Here's Hession trying to break the press. Garzon gets the turnover. Okananwa looks like she's going to go up, and she's going to send it home. There's Okananwa giving Maryland a 3-point lead. Here's Scott from outside. Can't get that one to go. Poffenbarger and her fighting for the rebound. Saylor Poffenbarger transitioning. Finds Okananwa at the wing. Okananwa for 3. She's got it. XFINITY erupting as Maryland has the lead.
For the Hoyas, you got to get a bucket here and not let Maryland start to try and pull away.
And for the Hoyas, too, can't let this crowd unsettle you. Just got to keep doing what you were doing, as they have no problem doing that with Nowecki.
If anything, more over-aggression.
Garzon on the inbound here now. Gonna get rid of it. Poffenbarger in the corner. Puts it in! Maryland extending its lead again. Here's 7-point lead for the Terps in the 4th.
That's what big-time players do. That's our first field goal of the night.
Here's a turnover. Oluchi Okananwa finds Bartelme, and Maryland is moving with some swagger now.
Yeah, the Terps are on fire.
Here's a pull-up from Lewitt. Lewitt can't get that one. A rebound here from Carter. She'll go up and get fouled. She'll head to the line.
That's going to be Garzon's 4th. Making sure you chip away. And that requires hitting your free throws, which they've done a great job of today.
Can't get that one. Bartelme. Crossing the court. Here's Okananwa with a lot of space up top. Finds Bartelme. She's going to drive and try the floater. She's got it. Bartelme across the key, puts that one away.
Yeah, great move by Bartelme right there. She's rolling with confidence right now.
Not only offensively, but defensively, Bartelme has been sound tonight for the Terps.
Yeah.
And here's a steal from Mack. Mack in transition. Mack gonna lay it in. Nifty finger roll from Mack. As the Hoyas are going to need another timeout. Maryland, what a run from them. Now they're up by double digits on their home court. need to get back in it in this fourth quarter. Let's see if they have anything in store for us.
Yeah.
Jewett at the top of the key.
I think Georgetown's looking for a golden opportunity. Maryland is longer than them.
And Kaya Miller will be sent back to the line. Miller converts on the first.
This game is not over.
Miller 7 for 8 from the free throw line tonight. And of course I jinxed her there. And she's 7 for 9 now as Georgetown trying to battle back. Maryland has the ball offensively.
Yeah, I think Georgetown has to get a stop here. You score, it's not over, but it does feel like they need to take advantage somewhere here and just slow Maryland up.
Here's Bartelme. Nifty spin work. Bartelme looking for options. We'll find Mack. Addi Mack. Addi Mack with some crossovers. Addi Mack going to take it in for the layup. Addi Mack again! Another and one! The freshman is making Maryland fans know her name tonight.
Tell you what, Ura said she's going to be a special player. She already is. Look at that. Just so confident. She takes on her defender, gets up, takes a tough shot, and makes it go. She's had multiple and ones now. I mean, for her to be a freshman.
There's Jewett. Now Byers. Byers going to take it in. Try and go off the back. Not going to go. Rebounded Ozzy-Momodu. Bartelme. Now trying to direct the offense. Lea Bartelme. Tight defense from Kaya Miller. Bartelme. With time left to go on the clock. Bartelme makes her move. A little behind the back. Bartelme. Beautiful dish to Ozzy-Momodu. And it's showtime here at XFINITY as Maryland is moving with some momentum on offense.
What a possession for Lea Bartelme. So undefended by Miller. That is just top-notch operator versus top-notch operator. Bartelme holds onto the ball, makes her work.
Now 3 Terps in double-digit scoring. And you know what, Dash? Let's make it 4.
It's not even that Georgetown's played badly.
Here's a shot outside. Got it. There is Victoria Rivera. Quiet for most of the game, but able to convert on that big 3. Here's Mack at the wing. Finds a crossing, Okananwa. Okananwa, Bartelme. Poffenbarger at the wing. Mack outside, corner 3. Making it look easy. Maryland and Mack looking to cap this one off as they take an 18-point lead. Kaya Miller finds Carter inside. Carter throws it up. Rebounded Poffenbarger. Addi Mack able to secure it. Give it to Bartelme. Now Mack crossing. She'll go through the lane. Mack with a little fadeaway. Mack can't be stopped. Little in the post fadeaway, and she does it with no problem. As Carter will throw this one up, and she'll get fouled as she shoots.
Man, this Maryland team has put on a show late. To do this to Georgetown as Carter hits that first one, just incredible. I shudder to think what anyone watching these last few minutes of Maryland film is going to be thinking to themselves if they're trying to look for a way to stop the Terps.
They were struggling all game up until the third quarter and decided to go on a run. Maryland will cap this one off and beat Georgetown for the first time these two teams have played in 14 years.